Hello everyone, Ori here and welcome back to the Down Games, and today I'm back with another Unity3d tutorial how to create an open world multiplayer game similar to Grand Theft Auto 5 online. So let's get started. Now I'm going to tell you what is going to be added in this tutorial, in this episode. So the first thing, actually, I'm going to say that this is the biggest change of all the episodes. I mean, this is the biggest change in the project because there's so much stuff added. As you can see, first of all, right there, it's you have never seen this before because this is the new Unity UI, which was all added in Unity 4.6, and now we are using Unity 5.0, which is the brand new Unity version, brand new Unity generation. If you don't have it, download. It's free. Every features are free. So yeah, more things what I added. Profiling system, as you can see right here. This is just a nickname. You just type in nickname in the source nickname, but it can be extended in many different ways, such as character, which character it is, and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, other thing what we will do in this episode is clean the mess. It's very important to clean the mess out of the project because now we made the project pretty messy, and I'm going to show you how to clean it to make it very understandable. So another thing, going to those files, it's input output. I said the profiles and also the health, all that stats. So let's create a profile. You can see empty profile. And what it did right now, it actually saved the profile to a profile number, which one I clicked. Let me check. God damn it. Okay, so profile number 1. So it wrote to a file something which was unreadable by a human, which stored nickname and unique identifier, which is used in server. Really important thing because it generates a unique identifier which is used in server side when it stores everything, the stats like money, health, bullets. So yeah, now we have another panel which is I need to rename it, not choose it proper. Okay, so create a server or connect a server. So I create a server. There are a bunch of options. Enter port. Default port is 25001, so in case you don't enter it, it will still be 25001. So let's type in this. Use master server, use NAT. These are pretty useless, these two options, because actually we don't use anymore that browse server, but I will implement it. And if there's use password, so I will try to do this. Let's say 1 2 3 4. Okay, password, and we start a server. So the whole multiplayer manuscript was rewritten almost from scratch. So that's the thing, like manuscripts, have been rewritten, rewritten from a scratch. So yeah, it instantiates this character, and now you can see at the top we have cash, HP, and bullets. And see, I can shoot bullets, whatever. So that's pretty good. So far it's good. And another thing which is really good, I'm going to show you in just a second. There is a pause menu, and if I disconnect, I can choose my profile again, and I host a server again. I will be back right there, and all my stats are saved. That's really good thing, because it saves to a file. I said on server side, it takes the GUID, which was generated by the player. The player sends it and requests the data, and if the data doesn't exist for specific GUID, it's created and then sent back to player. So the default values are just money, so the server can set how much money the player has in the beginning, not the client sets it. So that's a really good thing. And now let me show you another thing. Come on. Now and start one more session, which is going to be the same except fantastic. So now let's just do like so. Windowed mode. Okay. So the new Unity window, my game window, and I create a new profile, because if you choose the same profile, it's not going to work. The server is going to reject it. So let's type in random profile 1, whatever. Okay, so connect to server right now. So enter IP address and enter port. The default IP address, if you don't enter it in some case, is 127.0.0.1, and port is the same, 25001. So let's type in my local computer IP, 117, and port 25001. Okay, so now you can see the player. You could see in 1 millisecond the values were different, and then after that we were set. So as you can see, you can move around. Also HP system, look at that. Okay, so I'm going to try to shoot. Go down. You can see it lowered the HP. You can script anything you want, so I'm just going to kill myself. Okay, so after I died, they moved back to spawn, and that's pretty good. Okay, so now let's move to another thing. That's maybe ragdoll. Yes, ragdoll. Okay. Strange behavior might happen. Well, don't. These errors are useless actually. You can see the ragdoll. That's pretty good. Oh my god. What the hell happened? Look at this. Oh my god. Whatever. So now I quit this thing. Oh. Oh. Oh, I thought what the hell was happening. Okay, whatever. So now I start one more session. This time the new profile, because that one is far away from the spawn. Okay, so enter nickname, whatever, I don't care. So I connect to server again. And now I'm going to do a thing called property buying. Yes, that's the thing, exactly. And I'm going to show you another useless thing with Ragdoll. I'm going to try to do this. Well, the guy sometimes falls down. But yeah, so now you can see this is a house, just a house, and you cannot enter the house. Yeah, you can check the doors. You cannot enter it. And now right there I'm standing in a trigger. Maybe not right here, but right here I'm standing in a trigger where I can buy this house. Yes, exactly. I can press B. Do you want to buy this property? Price 100, that's super cheap, but whatever, it's just for test. Look at my money, I press yes, I shoot a bullet, well that's not supposed to happen, and my money goes lower. You can see it's 900. Right now it's 900. And now if I go inside of a house, I can enter the house. Yes, exactly, I can enter the house. You can see also works with this door. That's pretty good. Works with this door, but there is nowhere to go. That's a pretty good thing. I mean, that's a huge step in our project. Look at this, how awesome it looks like. Well, I can jump through the window, and it's still a bit glitchy. You can script yourself this stuff, because I will explain you in just a minute how everything actually works. So yeah, that's the thing. So let me show you that only the player can access the house. Come on, crashed it. Whatever. So let's instantiate one thing. So we have this server. This is for Diamond Games. Start the server. 1 2 3 4. Well, 4. It's supposed to work, the password I don't remember, for some reason it didn't say that password. Well, that's a bit weird. So now if I go to house, I cannot enter it. I can check another door, it doesn't enter the house. You can see this thing. Okay, now we start another thing in this resolution, and now we go connect to server. Ooh, now it asks for the password. So now 1 2 3 4 submit. Oh no, why oh my god, I have to, oh my god, come on, I have to rerun everything because I forgot the password. It's supposed to work actually. Well, why doesn't this work? Okay, so yeah, this resolution, fastest, whatever. Diamond Games, create server, use password. Okay, start the server. Okay, we start the server, and now we go right there. Now we choose this profile, connect to server, connect. Okay, here we go, we are inside of Unity. And now, as you remember, I cannot enter through this to a house. but I can exit like so from a house. You can see that's pretty good, and I can kill this guy in just, as you can see, that's the thing. That's the thing, how everything works. So yeah. Now let's move to Unity. And as you can see, this is Unity. And we are going to do this. So, first of all, okay. It tells me that I ran Unity for too long. Whatever. Let's start up Unity again and okay. So yeah, this is my UI. First of all, I'm going to explain you the UI. So how it actually works, it's really simple actually. It has a canvas, which is actually a thing which stores everything inside those UI elements. So now we have this register panel, which is this panel. So let's say if we click on profile 1, it's called from this camera MP menu script calls a function choose profile and passes an integer called 1. So the same goes with 2, as you can see 2, and so on. Then the script does the stuff because it's a quite difficult choice. The script does what to load up. A create profile screen, or to load a profile and open this game options screen with a text choose a profile, which is now going to be menu, whatever menu. And yeah, that's the thing. To load that or that. So if it loads this one, you enter a nickname, the input field thing, and when you press create button, it sends it calls the function save profile. Okay, so yeah, simple, right? It would be easier to just check the code, well, later the code, and then the code does all that stuff. It saves everything, and you know what it does? It opens game options. So there are two buttons: create server and connect to server. This is pretty simple stuff because it doesn't do any scripting. So does if you press create server, so it activates the panel called create server somewhere, this one, and disables games options. On connect to server, it does the same, enables, in this case it enables connect panel and disables this panel. So yeah, create server, that's it might be difficult at the beginning to create everything, so just go to game object UI. I will put a link in the comment or description with that UI stuff, Unity's official tutorials, and that's they explain that really well. So connect panel, just IP address, placeholder, maybe 25001. Oh, doesn't do it. Come on. Input field. Okay, whatever. So if on value change it calls a function update connection IP, on value change of here update port, and then button, not this one, connect to server function. So if the server has password, it opens multiplayer login thing. Enter server password. It asks for password, so update on value change, it calls that update server password function, and when you press submit, it again tries to connect to server. Okay, so yeah, register panel. Well, another thing with bind properties is just this thing, yes. If you press yes, it's just going to do calls by property function and disables this panel. If you press no, it just disables this panel. That's it. So yeah, now that's it for the UI. Register panel, here we go. Well, buttons. This button, pause button, I never used it, but on mobile devices it's useful. So set active, all that kind of stuff, just sets active and calls one function, disable character movement, and that's the thing. And this one I'm pretty sure does nothing, yeah, because it's not a button. So yeah, now let's move out of 3D and right here let's fix the clipping plane. Okay, so now probably the stuff with properties. Property 1. Well, maybe let's watch. Seriously, are you serious, Unity? No, I won't let you. Come on, the recording stuff does a little impact. Okay. Oh, we have mono right here. Okay. So now we have multiplayer menu. Okay. What the hell? Okay, let's close it. Save it. No, just close it. Okay, Alt F4. Close. Okay. So yeah, we have main camera and multiplayer menu script. Okay, let's launch it up. And we have this. First of all, it imports these packages. It's very important for file writing because it does everything in this script. It's pretty long, 446 lines. You might think I'm joking. No, I'm not joking. So yeah. By the way, one viewer asked me for one thing, and what the hell is seriously happening there? Seriously, what the hell is happening with mono develop? Oh my god. Whatever. Oh, I fixed it. Okay. One viewer asked me for saving the tracks that you created in the creator. I will do that most likely in the next episode. Let's hope it won't be 1 month away. But yeah, because that creator is not finished yet, so I'm going to expand it to support creating custom races and all that kind of stuff. That cool stuff. Not just placing props. That's it. So yeah, now we have this stuff, this code, 500 lines. Let's move to the beginning, actually where the player connects on connected to server, because all that stuff before is just working with graphical user interface. So sorry, it just sets the server, enable started true, toggle some panels and call spawn player, and if it's client, of course it's client. Why did I put this? It asks for it sends an RPC call called request player data. So let's move it. Here we go, request player data. It sends the player's unique identifier right here. What I was talking about is network player. I mean, what he is. Like, I don't know, that's difficult. It's just network player. The guy, not game object. It's not a part of game objects. It's just in network connections. Every connected player has one and the only one network player. That's the thing. Their own network players. And yeah, and it calls if it's a server. And because of course it's not a server, the client connects it. It passes false argument. So now it first of all checks if array contains the connected that GUID. This is that thing, because for some reason in JavaScript arrays there isn't a function called contains. So I wrote a loop by myself to check if it contains. So if it doesn't contain it, then that's okay, do the stuff. If it contains, kick him hard. No, just kick him. So if it doesn't contain stuff, add this GUID to that array so no one else can just connect with the same GUID, and it just debugs. I will remove these logs because I was developing the code, got some errors, and I was doing those debugs. So yeah, this is the thing with those formatting input output. It uses binary formatter, file stream, and class. So in this case it's player data. Player data contains values like this, most important ones: position X, position Y, position Z. Well, Unity doesn't support serializing vector free, so I wrote position X, position Y, position Z, because vector free is just a container which contains these free values, free floats, as you can see. Then start money, as you can see, I set the money, start money right here. Health, bullets, available cars. This is for the upcoming car system. I mean, you buy a car and you own it and you can spawn it, that kind of stuff. But I added it here because, for example, if you change something a little bit, this class, even if you change the variable name, the file gets messed up. I mean, it's unreadable. You cannot retrieve any data if the class is changed right here in the code. I mean, the values can be changed, but the variable names cannot, and the types cannot be changed. That's the thing. So yeah, let's move back to request player data, and it does all that kind of stuff. So this is if file exists. It opens the file and then deserializes it from the file to this class object data, and then closes the file and sends an RPC send player data with all those variables. You can see data.money. This is how you access the class, by using an object. If it doesn't exist, everything is pretty much similar, except it creates a file, then sets the position to spawn point, and then serializes it, and then sends the call, serializes it to file, and then closes the file, and then sends the call. This one is for the server. If it's a server, you see this is server variable. So yeah, now send player data. Send player data is pretty much self-explanatory because it first of all checks, it sends, basically you can see it sends to everybody, not buffered. It sends to everybody this call, and they check if network player, this one which we pass, is network.player. This is really important because if we wouldn't do this check, new player would come up and everyone would take his values. So yeah, and then it just sets the values. Simple, right? Then we move on player unconnected to server. That's it, pretty much it. But another stuff comes on server initialized. So the stuff which comes on when server starts, pretty much the same, except this loop. Every 1 minute you can change this value, it's seconds. It does while true loop, so it loops forever. So every 1 minute it saves the stuff. You can see this request player stats data, not player data, stats data, which is actually similar thing, request player stats data, where the player sends an RPC call to a server to save the data, sends all that kind of stuff, and that goes on every minute. Okay, so there is it. Come on, I cannot. Here you go. And this one is just for the server player. That's the thing. So now with this connection, these functions, all these functions are pretty much the same. these two are identical, and this one is a bit different. So let's move from a bit different. So it just disconnects from server and doesn't quit the application. So it does saves the data. You can see request player stats data. If it's a server, it requests from all the players the data and saves it to a file, and then removes the unique identifier. If it's a client, it just sends the player data and removes from the array unique identifier. That's it. And then it removes RPCs, destroys objects, and disconnects. If it's server, it also unregisters host from master server. And then just reloads the level. Quit application and on application quit are pretty much same. This one is called on the UI button, and this one is called when you press that X button, quit button. So yep, if it's server, it requests the data. If it's client, sends the data. It removes RPCs, disconnects, and if it's server, unregisters the host, and then quits the application. That's it. Simple, right? No, it's not simple. So yeah, that's the thing. Okay. So now the stuff. By the way, things changed. Almost every script changed. I didn't show you one thing. Okay. Seriously. Okay, so we have this test profile, great server, whatever. Oh, we have so much money. Money. Okay, the sound is definitely glitched up. So now with this racing system, I added a countdown, which is pretty good. Waiting for players, so if the stuff like just the players fill up, it automatically starts the race, but the server owner can start the countdown. Like so, 3, 2, 1, start. Well, something just... I will fix this. Okay. So this stuff is good, okay. It just starts the countdown and starts the race, and then it goes on a finish grid. That's the stuff. I changed it a little bit. Okay. Now the property owning. So we have to go to property 1. As you can see, this is that super secret area where you can buy that property. Okay. It must have network view and state synchronization off. Oh my god. I don't know if I will do everything in this. I have 30 minutes, something like that. Okay, just wait a little bit, guys. Okay, so I am back, and now we have this property system. Well, come on. Oh my god, I want so much to sleep. But I have to explain everything, right? So basically it has a couple of functions: on server initialized, on connectors to server, update, on trigger enter, on trigger exit, and buy property. Also two more functions: sync owner and set owner. Those are RPC functions. So yeah, now we have on server initialized, so it's probably the stuff called by a server. First of all, it disables the property interactive objects thing, which is right there, property objects. And inside of it, we have all those doors. You can see if this one is disabled, the doors simply don't work. So it's a pretty good thing because you just put the stuff inside game objects inside of this property objects and script them how you want, anyhow you want, and they will just work fine. That's pretty good way to do everything. And then it just writes, says this property owner variable reads from a file and then sends a buffered call property owner, which everyone who connects to the server replaces this value with this one, and that's it. So yep, on connected to server, it disables this thing because on the start for some reason the stuff enables, and yeah, so it disables when you connect to server. And then this function update, so if it gets input key down B, and if it's in trigger, and if property owner is empty, if there is no owner, then if all these things match, it enables this panel and sets the text of price. If these things match, it opens the panel. And then comes another thing. Then you press yes, it says buy property. And then it just checks for the same things. Well, yeah, it checks for the same things. Also, if the player has enough money, it's a transaction thing from money system. So if it returns false, then it doesn't remove any money and just returns false thing if the player has not enough money. If it has money, it removes the money and returns true. So yep, by the way, enter trigger, it's used on trigger enter and on trigger exit. It checks if it's the player and then does that stuff. So property owner, so then the property owner is set to that GUID, and then if it's not server, it sends an RPC to server sync owner. If it's server, it just calls normal function sync owner, and then it writes to a file everything. So the server writes to a file, and then it syncs with everybody, the property owner. That's the thing. Okay, so moving next, we have what do we have? The doors. Well, let me show you the door script. This is the script. I will put it inside, and there's nothing to explain actually. Okay, so what's next? Do not forget anything. Oh, this is to show off a bit more complicated. First of all, there are a couple things which are on this character. Is the first thing, enter car script is updated actually. I will show you that in just a second. I won't explain that because it because that's the thing the thing in the past. So we have life system, character ragdoll, money system, car system. I won't open it because it contains nothing. And player stats. I did that. I think I did this. Okay, whatever. So now we have player stats. It's just a thing which updates every frame, all the values. That's nothing to explain actually. Money system, in this case, it has single variable money, and it has two functions called transaction and sync money. Sync money isn't anything actually really important, but just let it be. And yep, we have all the stuff, checks if my money is good enough, and then does the stuff. If it's not, just return. No, okay, whatever. If this is okay, then returns true and removes money or adds money. Or if it's not okay, it returns false. That's it. Doors, car system. I said I won't show you it, but I show you it. You solve it. Character move. I updated this function a little bit. Shooting, I fixed it a little bit. Okay, enter car. So you can see the stuff actually changed really a lot. Really a lot. But I'm just showing you it a little bit. You can see that give ownership stuff, it just works flawlessly. And now it just works flawlessly right now. Character ragdoll. This is when the things come more interesting. Well, but I don't really remember. I did this in the last week and it's really long stuff. I'm just going to show you a ragdoll model. This is the stuff that I'm about to show you. Prefabs, character ragdoll. Okay. So what it does actually, if it enables a ragdoll, it just moves this character to a ragdoll. Well, first instantiates the ragdoll model, and then disables all the components of the character. First of all, moving out the camera. So moves out the camera of this to a ragdoll, moves this character to a ragdoll, then disables the character, and then the ragdoll goes like so. Just look at this. That's the stuff. You can just do like so, anything you want. This is a ragdoll, and it has some. You can create a ragdoll just like so. Create. It was somewhere. Create 3D object ragdoll. It opens up a wizard, and you drag and drop the stuff from an empty model. Don't use prefab, use empty model. And yep, that's the thing. If something colliders don't go right, just adjust them. Most likely the hand radius of this capsule collider won't be right. Some colliders might just go off. Make sure you choose that root or something like that as this root of the character. 3D object ragdoll. Pelvis, yes, pelvis. Pelvis must be the root object, not somewhere right there. Don't use this. It tells pelvis, but they just try to fool you, and that's it. Use this one, because otherwise this thing will stand and this stuff will move, and the stuff after it will move. and this thing will stand still and do nothing. That's a thing, that's a bad thing, and we don't want this to happen. So yeah, now we have this ragdoll switch. It does all the bunch of stuff. Oh my god, it's really hard to explain it even when you want so much to sleep. But yeah, it just switches the ragdoll if it tells that switching is true, and then if it enables ragdoll, it does this stuff. If it disables ragdoll, it does this stuff. Yeah, that's right. So now we delete this and we move on to live system. Yeah, live system. Live system. By the way, put the ragdoll into prefabs folder. Okay, so live system, like so. Smaller script than ragdoll. It just does type of object, if it's human, vehicle, or prop. That's the thing. So if it's human, it's supposed to add a ragdoll. If it's vehicle, it's just destroys it and does all different stuff, like before destroying it starts smoke, or you can script it. You can script it any way you want. And if it's prop, just you program it how you want effects. So now this bunch of code. And that's it. It just the shooting script called subtract health. It then sinks the health. Then if it has no health, it just does all that kind of stuff. Regenerate. If it regenerates stuff, that's the stuff. And pretty much it. Yes, pretty much it. So yeah, well, the last thing. If you didn't watch, first of all, if you didn't watch, you skipped this part, then you should skip back to, if you want to. I explain the scripts, what happened, then skip back to the beginning where I explain everything. So yeah, now I'm going to show you how to fix the project to make it not messy. So most likely I might have that copy. Scripts. No, it's fixed stuff. Okay, so how to put everything in the place to make it alright. First of all, save it. Put all the different objects, things to different folders. For example, models to model folder, scripts to script folder, exception to, like, if you're using JavaScript and you want to access C# script, put it into plugins folder. So yeah, that's a thing how to do it. Then we have many scripts, pretty much many scripts. So before we did it like so, put into folders, but now we have many scripts, tons of scripts. So then put it into the folders. This is really important because don't make the mess. This is really important. If you didn't do that, sort things, because it's easier to find the stuff. Because you go, oh, I need to go stat system, to go to live system, and oh, this is stat system folder, and that's alright. Without these folders, you would go, where is my live system script? That's the stuff. So if you have different things, like, and then you have some script that just like would be useless to put them into separate folder, so we have just like other scripts. And I added Z to the beginning because it puts the folder to the back, or we have a folder with ZZ at the beginning. So yeah, so we have Z other scripts, which is just water offset. Well, this is that script which makes the water look good. Yeah, I still think it just makes the water look good. I mean, look good by like so this offset, like so, moving it, and that's the stuff I will include it. And then some useless scripts, because this is useless script actually. Why I did that episode, I don't know. But yeah, that's it pretty much. Anyways guys, thanks for watching this episode, and don't forget to subscribe for more stuff, because well, this was the biggest episode, I mean the biggest update. The future of episodes won't be so big, but they will be more frequent, I promise you. And yeah, anyways guys, thanks for watching this video. Don't forget to click the subscribe button if you're new to my channel, and stay tuned for other videos like this. And yep, bye.